All right, guys, and welcome. It is Learning Fives. We've got a show match for you today between Your Thick and the Learning Fives staff, also known as what name did they decide to go with? It was something absolutely ridiculous, but
Blue side is you're thick,
Gank me,
and
yes.
then yeah, red side is gank me. Some unique name choices by the Learning Five staff tonight.
I think it could have been a little bit spicier, like add a little daddy to the end of that, just just make
Oh
it kind of
boy.
interesting. But what they don't want to make interesting is the bans, and they're just gonna go ahead and ban Saya and Kragus and Ari. Nothing spicy, no Azir yet. They want to let Jump have a chance to int himself off the table still, and we
Oh
could
my.
yet see that 16 death power spike happen.
Yeah. This is gonna be a bit of a meme fest. Now, what I'm really looking for is, as you mentioned, the Azir in the mid and the Alawi in the top lane on the side of gank me, as Jump and Sylph literally play nothing but those champions whenever they're in a show match because they're a little special sometimes when they want to show off. I I'm Tier by the way, and I'm joined by Zeta Beta tonight, guys.
Or just Zeta. If you've been around for a while, you know that I switch names about as often as most people switch pairs of shoes, which, if you're a sneakerhead, could be
God.
every other day or never, because you all put them on a shelf and just watch them endlessly. Anyway, that's besides the point. I'm not going to be salty about fashion anymore. We're going to go ahead and watch the Lee Sin get picked up. Uh, See if Jif can make that work, or if In Expire is going to take that for himself. Not really sure how to pronounce that.
It's I believe it's a silent X, so I think it's just Inspire.
Sure. Yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah, no, I get it. Silent X's, those are all the rage of the days now. But
Yeah.
Ivern could get picked up, and the
Um.
master of meme trees himself could find a place among the meme legends if this does go into a lane besides the jungle. It can be played support or mid or anywhere you really want to int. Just as the sky's the limit in your imagination.
Yeah. Well, Execute Plan C did just hover Smite, so I think he's gonna be playing at jungle. Um. Now, Ivern got nerfed quite heavily in the last patch. So it used to be that he took 25% of his max health per camp that he marked, or sorry, of his base health per camp. But now it takes 33% of his base health. So in his first clear, he's only going to be able to mark 3 camps really, without and like it really limits his clearing early on. He can't take a lot of the cheesy pass he used to before. So that's going to be like a lot weaker compared to the Lee Sin, which did get nerfed as well, but Lee Sin's always going to be Lee Sin.
Sorry about that. My headset just kind of stopped producing audio, so I had no idea what was being said. So, yeah, I'm back now.
Basically, Ivern a lot weaker. Lee Sin got nerfed a little bit, but he's still pretty Lee
Yeah,
Sin.
pretty much.
Rakan picked up as well as Irelia. That Rakan pick can get really crazy with the Lee Sin. They can
Uh,
they
yeah,
could do the
it's a lot of playmaking potential, I guess, is the key word around that. So
yeah.
we can see some fantastic CC combos, knock back into the Rakan knockup, or just and Irelia running rampant. She does so well into Alawi that if it does get picked up by Sylph, I hesitate to say that he's going to be able to do well, because this is a very, very difficult matchup, even in the best of hand.
Now hold on a second. Why did your thick? Oh wait, is it? I
Your
can't.
thick is
Yeah,
blue.
it is your thick. Okay, I was making sure the U was right. Why did they ban out Zaya when they were picking Rakan, when they could have just went for like both of them? I mean, they went for the
Because,
first pick
because, because,
Lee.
because.
Okay. Hit me with it.
Cannot let Zaya through. If you
Yeah,
let
but they
Zaya
have
through,
first pick, so they
I
could just
know,
first
but
pick it instead of
they can
Lee.
pick Rakan away from you, right?
Yeah, but then it's just a lonely little Rakan, and Zaya is a very strong champion on her own.
But so is Lee Sin. I mean, it's a
Yeah,
matter of
but
them not being second
do
pick, I
you
think,
really
over
think
Jump.
anyone on GM is gonna play Lee Sin? Do you want to see Jump's Lee Sin? Ask
I
yourself
do
that
want to see
question.
Jump's Lee Sin. And no, Jump, I want to see Lee Sin. Let's see that
I
kid
don't
really
think
prove
Jump's
himself.
team wants that. So I
It
mean,
doesn't matter what they want. It's what the audience wants. It's what the staff don't need to see besides just our responses. Everyone watching, you guys got to say in chat, if you want to see Jumps Lee Sin, let us know with an int please hashtag. That'd be great. Hit us up on Twitter, even at Learning Fives. We love to see that stuff. And if you don't want to see him int, hit us with the don't play Azir hashtag. No Azir, please. Something like that. It'd be pretty good. And if not, we're gonna see Oriana and what looks like a Blitzcrank mid. I'm not really sure what's going on anymore.
I'm
Oh,
thinking.
please, please, the
I'm
legendary. We need it. Oh no, not like this. Oh, tragedy of 1,000 generations.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be Blitz mid. It looks like that's gonna be support with possibly teleport. I'm not too sure what's going on here. Do you have any clue?
Um,
Teleport Blitzcrank? I mean,
it's the new meta. You take teleport on supports and you put them you put them in the bot lane with their teleports. The Blitzcrank can TP top, get the CC, lock
uh,
it down for the Shen, and then
God.
Shen can TP bot and swap with him.
Yeah, Reese is
Perfect
gonna
sense.
wanna. Reese is one of the lower elo members in this match, so he's gonna be trying to prove himself, and he's really gonna try to pull out something crazy. And this, I would expect.
Well, hopefully we can see some craziness. After all, we do have a lot of memes on the line, a lot at stake reputation-wise
He changed last
for
second.
your thick.
What a chicken!
Ugh.
Wow, Reese.
Oh, that is.
Wow.
I cannot agree with that.
I I don't know what to say. Is there anything to say about that?
I don't know. I mean, I guess you just gotta call him out for what it is. He's not respecting. He's not taking the teleport. He's not committing to the bit. And if you don't commit to the bit,
Yeah, as Blitzcrank, you have to commit more than any other champion. I mean, when you go in, you have to, commit to that hook. You have to commit to the all in. Because, if you just hook, at least in, and you're not going to plan on killing him, he's just going to jump into your backline, kill your carry. And with commitment, as he's shown with his summoner spells, I'm not too sure about that Blitzcrank pick.
I mean, there's no ignite, there's no teleport, there's no ghost, there's no
Just
like double
exhaust.
flash, like
Exhaust.
exhaust in
What
one
is that
flash. What
summoner
is
choice?
this? The summoner choice is absolutely subpar. I can't even agree with it right now. Got to see something at least a little bit interesting. If you just go straight exhaust, like people know you're not a Blitzcrank player first off, because every Blitzcrank that takes exhaust is a Blitzcrank that isn't confident in being able to one-shot the enemy AD carry.
Yeah.
If you're not confident, why is the ADC supposed to follow you? You're just sitting there taking his last hits and stuff, as to quote a Reddit thread that just came up a little bit ago, and you're not absorbing the shots. You're not, being a meat shield because you're worthless otherwise, and none of that. So just gotta step up a bit. We gotta see Gank me just stepping forward, being the players that they need to be, being aggressive enough to win this game. Because Jumpman, he doesn't have a signature champion. Like, where's the Azir? Where's his Lee Sin? Like, where are these champs we know him so well for? Like, where's the Alawi on Sylph? Like, none of it's come together, and everybody's on an off roll. So, not feeling too confident about their chances against your uh,
You're thick.
yeah,
Or,
you're thick.
yeah. It takes a little
Jumpman,
bit of
Jumpman,
time.
Jumpman. Jump is up to something, dude. He doesn't like being called Jumpman, but he hasn't changed his name, so I'm not sure what's up with that. We'll find out
Yeah.
sometime soon. But
Well, with that, we should probably go to a quick break while we load in. We should be back shortly, guys, so don't go anywhere.
What is up, guys? We are back, but for those of you who don't know, we're in a pause screen. The sepia tones of Serenity have washed across the sort of just peaceful field, I guess, really. And we're waiting now to see if the bug splats will be resolved, or if, we can kind of sit here and watch a 30-minute pause timer countdown for the rest of our lives, contemplating why exactly we were put on this good earth. But I know why I'm here. I'm here to cast a game again. We're here for Learning Fives. If you didn't catch the introduction, I am Zeta, and Tyr is my caster, my co-color master, and if he can't really do this game justice, I don't know who can. This is going to be a meme festival. Only the choicest will be on display for you, hopefully. And if they don't, then the next game might prove a little bit better in terms of the quality. Well, let's forget those sentences and try to move on to the game and just ignore everything that happened before this point, because we are ready. We are hopefully getting in the game, and let me ask you a question. It's Lee Sin versus Ivern. The early game should be in the favor of Lee theoretically, but could he get 3-buffed? I mean, this is possible for Execute Plan C to look at. Yep.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Seconds until minions spawn.
Oh.
Would you prefer the good cop or the bad?
Yeah, but at the same time, he doesn't even have a Frostfang. It's like he's not benefiting gold-wise from this at all. So
Minions have spawned.
just not farming it up, not getting himself that Frost Queen's mid start. I'm kind of surprised by that. I really wanted to see something a little bit more innovative out of him. Well, innovation spawns memes. I mean, how else are you supposed to get the newest and the freshest of these mimetics almost, Yep, they leashed the Ivern. Oh. Yeah, but at the same time, she also is... Oh, another missed hook, but Jump's starting to finally trade back a little bit. Yeah, that's that pressure that you talked about. Yeah, it's the ball. Every time you're, walking into range, every time you're trying to risk a trade, you're saying, oh, I'm, willing to do this. Just kidding. I got traded on really, really harshly because the damage output is just so much in the favor of Syndra at this point. Now the jump comes up. Inspire, he's already here. Blast Boy's in trouble, and he might have to flash out. Already taunted away, but there is a flash in with the Q. Almost brings him down. He doesn't go, though, and he will make it out alive, scurrying for his life. But now the knock-up Gentle Cat wants to find a fight, and he just can't get the trade started onto Silk. Stun in the mid lane. So much damage trading in every single one of these lanes.
Yeah, and I am inting. My mic has been muted this whole time, guys. So I am Tyrsona. Zeta was not talking to himself.
Oh, well, I have
This is the
imaginary
meme
friends.
cast, right? They didn't hear the cringe at the start, so it's all good.
You know what? that's a good thing.
Yeah,
So
it's
they
a
didn't
happy
hear
little
anything about
accident.
this. All they've heard is that
Oh, in the
walking to
jungle.
imaginary friend Inspire misses the Q. Actually, could be a big thing because he doesn't have the rebound, doesn't have the follow up. Banter already got the pathing in on that though, so he can zone off the Ivern, forcing the flash out of execute. Through lands, but no calling to come through as the Shen is not in range. Neither was the Syndra, and no mana, no damage to follow that up.
Yeah,
And
and
a blubber could want a piece of this. Gentle Cat doesn't actually get aggressed. I'm very surprised about that.
yeah,
Trying to
and
get Q up and everything.
I mean he's already very low, Panda Blubber. So I don't really think he can go in. As Caitlyn, if she, if Blitzcrank hooks the Rakan can just immediately W. Caitlyn can trap, and that's a solid 200 damage immediately coming out. So I don't think that's something he's really gonna want to mess around with, especially at how low his health is. But later on, once he gets a hook, the Jinx can chompers, and then they could definitely go for an all-in. Although it just can't be on the Rakan because of his mobility on the E.
Well, it might be able to. I mean, if they can bait that out earlier, if they can, try and counter-engage, they might be able to make it work. But yeah, you are right. If they do land a pull initially, it's not gonna be great.
Yeah. Actually, I've played a decent amount of Rakan, and I think it's actually kind of a soft counter to Blitzcrank because you can eat the hook and immediately just E out, and you're perfectly fine.
But
and
even if the hook, I mean, isn't that an instant E knockup? Like, don't you have no frame window to actually dash?
Yeah. So like, if Blitzcrank immediately E's, right? Like, even if you E, you still get the second dash because your E is a 2-part dash. So you just immediately E. If Blitzcrank stops it, then you can just keep going with the second part of your E.
Got you.
And if he doesn't, then you just get out without him E'ing you.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's still a very significant chunk of damage, though, and
It is a
with
decent
execute in
chunk,
the bot lane, they
but-
might be looking for even more of it. They do land the E knockup, but two of them are not even changed, and that's the slipperiness we were talking about, but the root caller has stopped him in his tracks now. The exhaust, even though it's down onto the Jinx, he is very low on summoners, very low on HP. The flash and knockup will get first blood for Silk, and now they want another piece of it. Chip chased out of lane by all three of them.
Yeah, that was... I don't know why Gentle Cat didn't immediately flash, because he oh my gosh, the cast, we're back a couple minutes ago. Oh god, don't even worry about what's going on stream. Gentle Cat could have flashed the, after he got hooked, because he was out of his E range, so he could have E to Jif if, he just immediately flashed, and then he would have been completely safe. But instead held the flash out, and then, this is why you just want to, like, if you want to use your flash, just commit to it. Because he took a lot of extra damage, and
That was
basically
a commit
died
to the bit,
for
but it actually forces the flash. Inspire found himself under turret and collapsed on by Execute. Just in time that Ivern made it in, but did burn a summoner on jump, so now has to be at least a little bit more careful because the Shockwave has no instant counter now.
Yeah, BC Jumpman dodging the flying Jumpman from Inspire. And did burn the flash there, so he won't be able to flash the next Orianna ulti. But and the Lee Sin, if you repeat ganks, that's also gonna be another issue. But that is only a level 4 Lee Sin right now. Inspire has kind of not been farming too efficiently, so very behind in experience already. And that Dragon's Rage won't be up for another good few minutes, or a solid while.
Yeah, I'm not super sure, about the gank, but actually Dragon's Rage wasn't used. He's only 5, so he's got, a possibility of a return gank. I mean, yeah, Shockwave won't be up by the time he gets there, but even if it isn't, I mean, with only a ghost available on the Syndra, it still could be made happen, and wow, that's a lot of damage coming out of a lot of people. True damage from the Irelia, dueling out the Shen, now the sword brought back. He is trading onto it, ultimate is being used. This duel could go the distance, and he is finally burning him down with a dash to finish it off. Jarsa brings down Blaster Boy in the top lane.
Now, what you were supposed to say is Blaster Boy just got blasted by Jarsa. No?
I'll give it like a 6.
Alright. But yeah. Kind of getting soloed out. Not something a Shen wants to do because of all the safety he has in his kit. Having the dash, having the auto blocker, on the W. Oh, Jif getting hooked.
Yeah, he's getting aggressed on as well. And the auto attacks are starting to rain down, but Sylph below half HP now, way below half HP. Every time he takes a Peacemaker, I think he might need to make peace with his gods because he is going to be one dead Jinx if this keeps
Yeah,
up.
Cat can actually aggress on Sylph as he does not have flash. Now Sylph does have heal, and Panda Blubber does have exhaust. So there is some safety, but once Cat gets 6, they could possibly go for an all-in, as he could W in, ulti, and then Jif could trap, and then, you know, like, that's a solid couple hundred damage right off the bat. And
Not
they
to
can melt.
mention, Jif still has exhaust on the backside of it. He could go in and exhaust Sylph as soon as he isn't uncharmed, so it's it's quite a bit of CC. Quite a
Although
bit
with
of lockdown that he
Execute
can bring
coming
to bear.
down, I don't think he's gonna really be able to do that.
They are very wary of this.
Oh,
though.
and
They got-
there's also Jump coming down. Jif getting hooked up.
Now he could be dead. He does get root collared as well. Now Sylph finishing that one off. No summoners going to be burned on
And
the
it
side
looks
of
like
the
they want to go for the all-in on Gentle.
To dive it though, Cat, he is way out of his element as he's gonna get burned down by Jump. Heal has to be used to keep Sylph alive, but I think they're okay with that as they look to finish off the first turret of the game.
Yeah, nice rotation and commitment to that. They could have just left after Jif, but they knew their limits and said, no, we're taking Gentle Cat too. And go for the all-in tower dive. That gets them first blood tower and a very, you know, a very considerable gold lead at level, at 10 minutes in with 1.5k. And Sylph used the heal there. It actually wasn't necessary. He didn't eat the extra tower shot. Well, maybe the movement speed helped him get out. Better safe than sorry. I like the commitment to it, actually. I wouldn't harp too much on about it.
Oh,
the
steal though. Oh, Inspire. At least he gets something back. Yeah, he dies for it, but that's pretty worth it, you know. A death for a dragon. You keep. This
And that
down.
mid lane turret was taken down by Banter with his new name change. Formerly known as League of Banter, has turned to the dark side with that name.
Yeah, that is
A little bit of a toxic name, if I may say so myself.
Well, Riot Games, I mean, they've put that as one of their trigger words for their ban system, so, you know, not super surprised, but see if it sticks around for forever. I'm not so sure what their, like, naming policy is, because I've seen some rather interesting names in terms of, toxicity, you could say, but not for sure. Nothing's for sure in League of Legends.
Well, Lulu being broken is for sure.
No, remember there was like a year and a half where she was just kind of worthless, and then all of a sudden, just 2 or 3 patches ago, she just pops back onto the scene. Everybody's like, "Oh wait, isn't this champion like busted? 3-second polymorph? Yeah, it's insane." And then she
God.
came back everywhere.
I started playing Lulu for... Oh, Lulu can hold on a second. As we have a collapse, they are pincered in.
And they're dead. This is Inspire already popped. Panda Blubber's already made his way here. No idea when he found the time to do that, but the Shockwave shuffles them around, and Blaster Boy finishes off with an auto as the flash.
Did you
was
see
forced
that
out of
sidestep
Banter.
from Panda there? Panda Blubber sidestepped the shockwave, just clean, walks out and walks back in immediately afterwards. I mean, it really wouldn't have mattered, but the style points on that. And he's back in bot lane immediately. Am I... What?
He's rotating.
He's
with
fast
the
as
best of
F
the best.
boy.
I mean, this is just Blitzcrank with the speed shoes. He can get to any lane anytime, and he shows us exactly why he needs those as he makes his way back to the bot lane in plenty of time. I mean, he's fast AF. He's got, you know, the cleanest shoes, the hottest girls. You know, you wouldn't want to challenge him in the club. This guy is, he's ready
He's got
to
his
go.
Jordans, dude. Can you even?
I don't think you're supposed to run in Jordans. It creases them. Besides the point.
Well, aren't Swifties Yeezys? I'm not much of a sneakerhead, but I mean, if you're spending 900 gold on boots, wouldn't you want like Jordans? I mean, I get that they're not like merc treads, you know.
I mean-
but like,
I don't know. If you're spending only 900 gold though, compared to
you're
the rest
right.
of the
That might just be some Nikes.
1200 gold.
He's just got Nikes on, whatever. Nothing
He's
special.
just got some like some regular.
He got some
Nikes,
Reebok on.
Reebok or like a boxer, you know, the Chinese knockoff. of that.
Oh, hook
no.
on to Banter.
Might get knocked off himself. Oh, Sword can't protect him for long though. Blaster Boy shutting them down, and they're actually just going to turn and burn onto Jarsa, looking for that kill. Does manage to make his way out in the Aurelia, but Jump is hot on his heels, looks for the stun, doesn't find it, almost gets knocked up, sidesteps that one though, and now he is back to dancing around the minions as they go for the Rift Herald. Should bring this down, no problemo whatsoever. They should probably take that to the mid lane, try and reclaim some of those lost turrets. Inspire,
Yeah.
can he do it again? No, he cannot. That is unfortunately not the case. 1 versus 5. He does not take the Rift Herald, does not get much of anything. Goes down for his troubles as the red turret in the bot lane does get dropped. Good split pushing there from Jiff.
Yeah. Gank has been, you know, ganking the enemy team actually. And this is so one-sided immediately. 15 minutes in with a what, 3k gold lead almost? And
Yeah,
look at
I
these
mean, the gold
lanes.
lead
I mean, 030 Lee Sin, 007 Ivern. Then you have, oh, I have to rearrange this word again. All right.
It's
Then you
fine,
have,
don't worry
like-
about it.
Yeah, but like,
The only kill, keep in mind, the only kill is on the Cyrelia, right? Jarts is the only man who has a kill so far, and
he's
the
in
rest of his
elo
team's
hell.
kind of feeding.
He's
It's-
elo hell.
It's Rito holding him back, you know, the man trying to keep him down,
Oh.
keep him from
Nice
finding his
shockwave.
place in the universe. Well, didn't use the Dragon's Rage. Very surprised
Yeah.
about that one. Now Blaster Boy chasing down Inspire. He used the Dragon Rage to kick them back up as Sylph gets himself on the wrong end of a queue.
Oh.
Jarsa finds himself stunned. Panda Blubber baiting a little bit too hard possibly, but not hard enough as he does go down.
Oh, he gets a
to
kill,
Jarsa
though.
In the
He snipes
very
him.
end. Heal.
Oh my
shield.
God, he's
They
out.
Kept him alive. They're turning it around. Execute Plan C is not able to execute the way that he wants to. The Root Caller summons Daisy back up, but that should be the end of this fight. I don't think they're able to pursue. Health bars low on both sides and no mana on Jump.
My God,
Oh,
I was
Sin.
about to say
Looking for a kick on
early
the side.
surrender came out just now, so they could have FF'd at 15, but they're gonna keep this game going. They're fighting. I mean, they're in it again.
In it to possibly win it as
They're
Silk
in it
takes
to
a
contest it.
big Q. That is a hallmark of the bot lane. I mean, it's just Sylph walks up and big Q to the face. Sylph walks up and big Q to the face. Yes, his team's winning. Yeah, he has 3 kills. But he will eat Peacemakers until the day that he dies. That is the one thing I do know about this game.
Yeah. So right now is a little bit of like, oh wait, did I just see Blaster TP into the top lane? Hold on. Did he just teleport into the top lane? He has no ultimate, no teleport, no way to join his team for the dragon that has just spawned. So this is completely in favor. This is TP advantage, at least in favor of You're Thick. Now, that utilizing the teleport is a whole other story, but this is something they can play around. Possibly create an even larger lead off of.
But
Although,
he's got a taunt to get 3 members up there, and they don't need a TP advantage when they have a numbers advantage. Bringing him down,
so-
looking for their 3rd outer turret. Should drop in short order. Now the response in the bot lane comes as the form of Jiff and Inspire trying to take this one down. Their 2nd dragon, the 2nd ocean in fact of the game,
thing
should
about
be
this
there.
though is, oh my gosh, Banter and Jump.
Exhaust. Whoa, beautiful turn actually. The exhaust combined with that ultimate does land them a kill, and the blue team secures another dragon. You're Thick picks up their 2nd of the game.
Yeah, I was about to say that Jinx pushes super hard. So, you know, if it could possibly be stalled out, that dragon, and no one died for it, and they could even push in for damage on the 2nd turret as well as the top turret, so it would be maybe a favorable trade. But the 2nd ocean does go over to You're Thick, and 2 oceans is actually a lot of sustain. I have hiccups, kill me. In the middle of a cast. Lucky day, my friends.
Well, I mean, just get your diaphragm in order. That's all I can tell you. Deep breathing control, it'll be fine. You'll learn it eventually. But if in fact you have hiccups and you're
think
having
they're
trouble
gone.
getting rid of them, try stopping breathing. That does actually solve the hiccups, as your diaphragm will be starved of oxygen.
Yeah, I just like to pretend that I'm Lee Sin, and then I meditate, and then I go 1v5 against my enemy, and then I die, and then I go 0-3-0. But no shots, no shots. Play game, no flame. Zeta, you okay?
I'm just wondering how to respond to that. I have no idea where that was going. Don't know what we're doing. Well, I do know that Blitzcrank stole blue from his mid laner. Jump,
Wait, really?
apparently not deserving of that buff as much as Panda Blubber is himself, so we'll see if he can make some more plays on the map with it.
Yeah, he's saying you got 1v1, now I'll 1v1 them for us. Thanks for the blue buff.
So long, and
little
thanks
trade
for
on
all the gold
Inspire.
he's in. But he does actually kick away. Now Inspire trying to kite his way out of this. Gentle Cat finds a snare, could find a charm, but Jump is so fast, he's ghosted up, finally charmed in. And the shockwave comes out to finish that off. Last Boy has joined the fray though. Inspire so low on the backside of this fight. 4 versus 3. Where is the Jinx? Where is the damage for your Thick? They haven't managed to find any of it. And
He's
they
on the
finally-
backside. You're not a flanker. She's playing
Yeah, this
Jinx
is
like
not
that.
where you need to be. The DPS is just nowhere in sight. Jarsa chasing down Sylph now. Might even get himself a kill. Started up with the ultimate. The true damage. The slicing through. It will be transcending his victory. The Blades have found their mark, and they do manage another kill. Jif tried to get something from himself. Didn't manage it, but it doesn't matter when they've gotten so much back. The gold lead shrunken immensely, and they're looking for a tier 2 turret in this bot lane.
Yeah, you do not want to compromise positioning for the speed getting to the team fight. He chose the fastest way to the team fight and took him directly into Irelia. What you need to do is you need to go immediately, even if you have to walk around terrain to get to the back of your team, you need to be in proper AD carry positioning when you're an ADC. There's no reason that you want to walk and flank people as Jinx, unless they're super low, which no target was low, so there's no chance of him getting his passive off even. So, very over-aggressive there.
Yeah, slightly. I think that was a slight misstep, maybe too much aggression in one place. And Sylph, just even with all of his gold, even with, so much at the Jinx, ready button, it doesn't matter if you're not at the fight. You gotta show up, you gotta be at the fights in time, otherwise your team is just left floundering for damage.
Yeah. Next dragon will be an Earth Drake, so that's going to be a little more of a favorable Drake. I'm getting much better at my camera work, by the way. Some of these transitions are smooth. All right, I just gotta say that.
It's called observing, first off, and so if you don't know that, you're obviously
I'm a
not good
videographer.
observer.
All right. Did you just assume my title?
I assumed your title was Boosted Animal, but, maybe I'm wrong about that one, too. We'll find out. Panda Blubber certainly is slightly boosted himself, misses another Q. That success ratio probably a bit lower than the European pound at this point.
I'm still broken.
Economics. Anyway. Well, you know what else is broken? The gold lead. Wide open. 35k. It's now in the favor of your Thick, and they are looking to just
Plus,
continue
2 dragons
snowballing that
up.
upwards. It's surprising, but the team right now having macro play, macro decisions seem to be working out for them. They can't be finding themselves in the wrong end of many more fights, though. This game is on a tipping point, and the next team to win a big one, I think, should find themselves in a huge position to get something done. Stuns under fire right when he wanted to get that kick. Not to be insect to insect squashed in his prime.
Yeah. Inspire has been looking a little more like Intspire. That's all I can really say about that. He's been going a little hee hexd. My heart's telling me no. But his body.
But my body's telling me, why did Riot Games ban me again? That sort of thing. It's just, it's heartbreaking to see someone in their downfall, just such a good-mannered player, and then just, innocently banned by Riot support again. No flame, of course. No idea what I'm talking about here. No specific entities, of course. But in the current game, we are at a point where I can say that either team could win this finally, but the front line seems a lot weaker for your Thick.
It is a bit weaker. I mean, Shen is a hyper tank, and then Ivern has a lot of protection. But, you do have 3 people who are fairly tanky. Rakan is still pretty squishy, but he's going to be getting a little more tanky once he starts hitting the Redemption as well as Locket. And it is worth mentioning, both supports have finished their quest. So Panda Blubber does have a nice little shield. And Gentle Cat will have extra movement speed, although that movement speed will do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, if he's dead, it doesn't matter how fast he moves. He is just running into an early grave. Jarsa flashing the wall does manage to get away for now, but the tags from the zap, they can crit now. And you gotta be worried a little bit. Daisy is brought down, but now it's a 4 versus 5, and they have such a big front line to continue zoning out your thick. They are just looking for them to try and gank me. That's what they're saying. Dare it. Lee Sin, Inspire. Can he steal another dragon? I don't think he's going to get it in time, though it reset. Maybe he still has a chance. Looks for it. He gets it again. How is this possible? That's another objective that he's stolen away.
What are those smites? Execute? I mean, okay, Lee Sin, to be fair, right? Lee Sin Q does help him smite away objectives.
But he's
But-
lower level.
Yeah, he's a level down, so if they just wait out the Lee Q, plus if you see the Lee Q, you should be prepared for it, and you should be prepared to stop doing the dragon once Lee goes in, or just immediately burst it down before he goes in. So
Yeah, it's just a lot of damage actually finally coming out of Sylph. They are getting the tank line. They are
walking
zoning
up
them
really
out.
far.
Flashing
General
by
Cat.
Blaster Boy. Oh, that should be another death for
Oh
them,
my
and they are
God.
just getting shredded by this Jinx. Oh,
this is a little
Not
bit of a dangerous game here. There's a lot of low members. Oh,
maybe they can make it happen though. Panda Blubber does find himself on the very wrong side of that Shockwave, and he will go down. Actually, no, Shockwave wasn't even used. It was just regular Orianna Burst. No mana on the Jinx. They're
which
still
means the
chasing him up.
shockwave is up.
Could be a full 100
Now,
to 0 as
Sylph
soon
is
as that
flash.
Q hits.
Sylph is flash, so it really shouldn't.
Yeah, it
They're
shouldn't
committing
land,
hard,
but
yeah, they back off at that point. Okay.
if he could get the ball into Gentle Cat and Gentle Cat gets a knock-up, I mean, might not be able to expect that flash it out in time, but do back off in the end.
Yeah. Daisy will be taken down. That is plus 50 gold, so that is a considerable gold swing. Puts them back in the lead. But this game is basically neck and neck. The one thing that's not measured here is the 3 dragon advantage, and Jarsa getting a little spicy.
Maybe? I mean, no taunt, stun might not land either. Jarsa still making his way out of this fight. Jump almost got the timing right, but that knockup did, in fact, zone them out just a little bit longer. Gentle Cat jumps in with the charms, and now they're trying to turn it around. They've got a lot of members up in the top lane, but Panda Blubber coming in for backup should be able to get them out. Shockwave lands on
One
Blaster
man.
Boy, though, dodging the knockup with his own taunt, and he manages to make his way to safety. The ninja slides through the shadows and escapes the 5-man squad of your thick.
Yeah. Oh. The auto camera went a little PTXD there, but it looks like Gentle Cat might be playing with fire as well. Now this game, okay. What you have to look at is the items on the supporting champions. After this, of course. Oh, there goes Gentle Cat.
This could be the turnaround. I mean, it's almost time. Snap, snare trap, up. Blaster Boy could be looking for another engage. He's been so aggressive recently on this Shen. Maybe he can land another thing, but the kill count has turned back in the favor of Gank Me, and it's just this game keeps going back and forth. You know, as much as they get an advantage, Inspire almost goes down as well, but Jump cannot finish off the kill. Not enough orbs to burst him down.
And look at this base. I mean, look at these minion waves. Blaster's trying to clear. Jarsa did take tower aggro, so he's gonna have to back up a little bit. She's just whittling away at these inhib towers, although I don't think that... Oh. Maybe he's gonna go for the mid one, actually. It's getting really low, and that will be an inhib tower. Oh, and that will be Sylph.
Yeah, he's down, and with the kill onto him, double kill in fact, for the Caitlyn, they could make this a pretty useful transition if they can get Jarsa.
Oh my.
Oof. That was smart. That was a really smart dive out.
Tashiwa Genji. What? He wards the Raptors to Q over. I mean, I knew that you could do that, but like, let's be real here. In a real world, your jungler would have taken that camp and counter jungled right before you got there.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times the camp would be down, but the one time that it's not, you can't pull off some ridiculous things. Same story with the plants, you know. People don't walk around random popping it. You can make them work, but now the random engage, the steal, it's up to XP Plan C. He's on the other side of the smite, but it's actually gotten a kill.
Oh, the Jinx ulti comes out.
Securing themselves the Baron. They do
they're
drop
all
the Ivern, but now
so
no
low.
smite to speak of. No health bars either. Chased out by Jump.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sylph
Jar's
is right.
baiting.
Oh.
Absolutely baited, and Banter still keeps himself alive with the exhaust on the Jump.
Yeah.
No way
maybe-
that he's going to go down, but end up Blubber missing that hook.
Uh,
That's a tragedy, and now Jif actually gets flashed on. Will there be enough damage to follow up? I'm not so sure. The shockwave has landed. Sylph is forced to flash.
It looks
and
like there's
all
enough
the summoners
damage.
are down, and they're just turning and burning.
On the
Jarsa
wrong
has made his
side.
way back in, and he gets a kill. Banter actually to pick that one up, but every time it looks like it's going the way of your of Gank Me. It goes back the other direction. Like, you're thick. They baited 3 times in a row to get so many extra kills for themselves.
Yeah. And with that, the game has gone slightly in favor of your thick, actually. So, considerable gold lead. But now this Caitlyn just picked up the Bork, which is kind of big because with that Shen and the Ivern as 2 big health targets, she's gonna be able to pump out a lot of extra damage. I don't know if that's the core build right now. I haven't been too up to date on AD carries for this patch, but it's not horrible itemization. I think it's okay. Maybe Bloodthirster would be better.
Oh, that damage though. Banter's he's just cleaning house. Jarsa has a Guardian's Angel, but he gets procced, and I think he should be going down here. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna live. So as much as Gank Me got out of that, they're losing a Baron. That's a pretty big trade, and if this does end up going down before they can get there, which it should, that means that it should be an advantage, a massive one, in the form of a near 10,000 gold lead
But
on the side.
they
of
got
your
an
thing.
Ocean Drake.
Hey, they got an Ocean Drake though. At least they got that.
Yeah, the first dragon they'll secure this game, notably without their jungler there. Maybe that's the secret to getting dragons. Taking a lot of shots right now. But yeah, this game has definitely swung from a giant lead from Gank Me into a big lead for your thick.
Yeah, it's. I mean, what else can we say at this point? It's just as many turrets as they've gotten. That's 3,000 gold apiece for those. Then they've won some fights. They've gotten good CS numbers, especially on the 60 CS lead in their bot lane, and then another 40 in the mid. It's, you know, gold counts across the charts are going in their favor.
Yeah, this is you know, your thick's game to lose now. I mean, their Orianna banter is massive, and do you know, the first man that came out was the Gragas. That is Banter's specialty. So taking away Banter's main champion, he has gone full out Fury mode, and he is looking to make them pay for that.
Yeah, maybe they're gonna get something out of this, but right now, no kills still have been traded back and forth. And with the Irelia shoving top, they've got to make a decision soon. This is coming to a tipping point.
Yeah, something notable though is that this Irelia does not have a Titanic Hydra or Ravenous Hydra, so she will clear minion waves at a fairly low speed for a top laner. Not having too much wave clear, although she can use her Q to help with that after she autos them. Blaster going in, not gonna get too low though.
Yeah, it's gonna take a long time for them to burn him down, but not to burn down Jump as he drops instantly to this Orianna. Such a quick kill, and he might get more out of this if they do find another kill. Could be almost ending the game now. The inhibitor
Okay,
is
wait.
open mid.
I got
The
one. I got
turret
one.
shoved down very, very shortly.
Hold on. BC Jumpman? More like BC Dumpman. Huh?
Well, let's stick to the color analysis because this fight is kicking off right away with the kicks in. Lee Sin dancing around, and the Caitlyn is just pouring damage into the backlines. Double kill for Jif as the top inhibitor is about to drop. The bottom inhib turret goes down as well. This could very well be the end of the game. Jarsa's making his way to the mid inhib, and this should be all 3 inhibs cracked wide open, and at 33 minutes, that could be a death sentence to gank me.
Yeah. This is pretty scary. I mean, 3 inhibs gone. Inspire gets really low, but sliver of HP, and he's gonna walk out. And the base of Gank Me is getting really low. I mean, and the base can't walk out. Maybe they can
The base
hold it.
can't regen, the
but-
base can't walk out, it can't leave, but neither can Inspire. He drops down as Jarsa goes in. Blaster Boy, he's trying his best, but he will go down as well, as Jarsa tanked up 4 members for so long that he is now
Sylph is getting a kill,
escaping with
though.
his life. Sylph
He does
walks
not
into
get the kill.
Caitlyn, drops down.
Jif
This
gets the
is-
kill.
I mean, that's not what you want to see. Jarsa drops to the orbs, and this should be game number 1 going the way of your thick. They take it 23-20, but the gold lead is immense.
Yeah, and this is a best of 3, so it is still actually possible for Gank Me to win this, but with such a decisive turnaround, I mean, early game completely in favor of Gank Me, but your thick just, as soon as they got something, they just pushed and kept on pushing it, and they just kept going and played it well.
Yeah, and
With that,
I'm not really sure what to say at this point. I mean, we've covered the swing, we've covered the loss, the inting. Lee Sin did not let us down at the end. 0-8 is his end score, but even with that, they end up with a win. So I'm super surprised at the 0-8-3 he managed to pull that off, but I guess he was really, really important as bait for their team.
yeah. We're going to go to a little bit of a pause while we get ready for next game, so we'll be right back, guys.
All right, guys, we're back with more Learning Fives. It's still the show match, but they've swapped sides, and it is time to see if this is going to end 2-0 or if the staff can make a comeback. I am Zeta, after all. Joining me is Tier, and we are bringing you some of the most quality memes, hopefully much more quality than the last match, because that one's a little bit lacking,
My
but
memes
we'll see
were
what happens.
they were like 5 out of 7, I'd say.
It's nowhere near a perfect score. No, 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 no. Nothing like that.
Okay.
Absolutely not. We cannot taint perfect scores with such tragedies as this.
Yeah. Reminder: this is a best of 3, so this does not necessarily have to be the last game. As if if Gank can make a lead like they did last game and keep that lead for a win, then we will be going to a game 3, and I will be here all night. How I love to spend my Friday nights.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Friday night. I just have, things to do. So hopefully this 2-0 comes out pretty quick. We'll see if it does.
So you're
After all,
rooting
there
for
was
your
a
thick now.
What?
Are you rooting for your thick? Is this a bias I hear?
I can't confirm or deny anything because then that would show that I have a bias. But if it happened to be a 2-0, I think all of us could get out a little bit earlier.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
All right. That is respectable. Although, wouldn't you want the fun to continue?
I mean, we'll see what happens, basically.
All right. I'll take that. Now, bans coming out. Everything looks pretty standard. Knowing what happened, the Lee Sin is actually banned out against Inspire. Now he had a lot of deaths and not too much kill participation on the Lee, but he did steal 2 dragons, right? So maybe they want some more dragon control this game in banning out the Lee Sin. Now double ADC ban on the side of your thick, looking to target Sylph's champion pool. Was Lucian banned last game?
Maybe. I can't remember. I think it's the same bands coming out of Your Thick. Realistically, I think it's the same one. So I think that is a Lucian band that was in their last game as well.
Yeah. Lulu banned out this time though. Jarvan first pick. Oh. Okay. With everything that was up, Jarvan was the first pick. I'm interested. I'm intrigued to say the least. I'm wanting to see if Sylph will play it though, because they might possibly do some role swaps in the middle of a series, which is something we don't see too often.
I mean, it's happened before. It's not unheard
Yeah.
of to see role swaps, but they got to make something change if they want to win this game. I think.
And I mean, picking Riven here, I don't. That's not gonna get locked in, right? Are we gonna see it? They ban out his
Maybe.
Riven, or they ban the Lee Sin, and he says Riven jungle it is. Oh
Well,
my.
at least it's interesting. At least this is a change from the normal. That's all I really care about it being. So.
Yeah, I love seeing some like more off meta stuff. And they are already 1 win up, so they can take a little bit of a risky thing here. Rumble being hovered, that would mean that it's one of them in the jungle. I'd expect
Rumble
Jarvan,
Jungle is
but
it's pretty fantastic, but I have to say so
yeah.
myself.
I used to do it back when like the skin was just like when I got the skin, I'm like, wait a minute, I gotta go jungle now, and this is before Rumble Jungle was actually like ever viable, so that was stupid.
Well, besides the point, they have locked in Barom, and Rumble, so Rumble should be top lane. It looks like, and against Nyrelia, I'm not super sure about his chances. I think that's a rather poor matchup in some cases, and in others it can be absolutely devastating. You can just see the Irelia go up like 7-0, 8-0. Kill lane, kill jungler 1v2. It can be devastating if Irelia gets an early lead. And Rumble is one of those champions that, you know, if you can play around him, with movement wise and mechanically and outburst him and all of these things, which Irelia does extremely well, he tends to not matter much. So we'll see exactly how well he can execute this, and if the legendary Azir will finally make an appearance on the side of Gank Me. I've been waiting for this all series long. We need to see it happen.
Yeah. With two top laners already locked in, or a top lane Jarvan potentially, um, this is probably not going to be. He hovered the Azir, although that wasn't Jump who would be the one that would hover it. So I think he's telling Jump, you gotta pick it. Is Jump going to do it though? He is blind picking it, as Banter has not picked mid yet. Is he gonna play Lissandra? Oh, taking the
Maybe.
Ori this game, actually. I like that pick, actually. I think this is... They have a very disgusting wombo. If you think about this, this is crazy. So you have the Jarvan EQ in, or like EQ ulti or whatever variation you needed to do to initiate, right? Then you get the Ori ulti, into the Rumble ulti, into the Braum ulti, into the Ezreal ulti. You have so much in those ultimates. So much wombo. You can actually 100-0 their entire team. So even if they get behind, they could still win a team fight just off of how strong their champions are as a cohesive comp.
Well, we'll see if the Wombo is good enough. They have taken away the Orianna, and it's responded to with a Syndra. Just Banter thinking that he's going to be on the better end of that matchup no matter what, believing in his own skill, and we'll see if that is the case.
Yeah. So now Banter will be playing the Syndra, completely just reversing the matchup. He did well from the Orianna side of things. I'm interested to see if his Syndra can match up with that. But I mean, honestly, I think that I don't know. I'm a little wary about your Thick's comp this game because it's a lot less cohesive as a teamfight comp, and they have even less. Do they have less protection than last game? I'm thinking they had. Well, they have less protection than GM's team did. They played Jinx last game or Caitlyn last game. So I think this Jinx is gonna be a little unprotected, although hopefully Syndra will peel for her. But we really have to see the execution and especially the positioning. And they have a lot of AD threats, so armor items are definitely gonna be picked up this game. I want to see at least 2 Ninja Tabbies, at least 2.
And I guess with that, we're going to take a very short break before we get into game. Uh, we'll see you in a few minutes then.
Yep. And welcome back, guys. I am Tirsona. Zeta is on a quick hiatus as he has some important business matters to attend to. So I will be handling this solo for a little while, as we see some very interesting level 1 strategies coming out from both teams. Is this going to be a 5v5 in the bot lane level 1? Oh my lord. With a Braum, though, the blue team definitely has an advantage. Gank Me is possibly going to get the stun on Banter here. Needs 2 more auto attacks. Misses the Q. They do get the stun, though, and Banter KYS just killed himself as Execute Plan C picks up first blood. And that is important, as the jungler will have a much healthier clear. He needs to back immediately, though, and with Execute not backing, he's not going to have enough time to get an item. Oh, that's not good. That basically just nullifies the first blood. He even actually has a health deficit now. There's no XP really, so that's actually not really great of a start. Normally you want to immediately back and make sure you're back in the jungle in time. And honestly, even if he backed and bought an item and he did Raptors by himself, he'd probably have a better clear than getting this red buff with Leash. So,
Well, we'll find out,
Oh,
as I
welcome
am
back.
back and ready to cast again. Sorry about that, viewers, but the Riven jungle is rather low after first camp, and the Jarvan has red buff to start healing him up slightly, so with that and with the first blood, I think that he's going to get a much quicker back after the 3 camp start, and then find himself quickly on the way to success in this early game.
Yeah, the only downside is that he's not really going to get any, any usefulness in the first gank if he wants to go for that. Also, this new Pulsefire Ezreal looks much cleaner. Those Qs look so slim.
No, I think everyone was overreacting with the whole, you need to update the skin.
Yeah, I
liked the
agree too, but
animations,
the new animations are really nice though. Plus the new model, or the new textures on the model look really nice as well. I
Really,
thought
I
it was
think that
okay
they actually
before.
downgraded the model in terms of quality.
Really?
Like, it doesn't look as, thematic. It just looks like sort of a brown base, and then you don't really see as much
I can agree with that.
that evolves. And he doesn't even fly guaranteed when it's 16,
Wait,
Just
what? They took away the
yeah,
flying?
you remember how he used to fly every time when he took off at 16?
Yeah.
Every time you moved, didn't matter what the move speed was, he was flying at 16.
Now it's like the Kog'Maw skin, the butterfly Kog'Maw.
Yeah, where he only flies if he's above a certain speed.
Oh, here's the
Pretty
early gank
disappointing.
though. And I don't think that first back is really going to matter, as they are going to get Banter again.
Yeah, and they actually gave it over to the Orianna, so that's a good management of gold, gets him ahead as well, and puts Banter quite far behind with no summoners to speak of now.
Yeah, and I mean, look at this. Only had enough gold for a second Doran's ring. That is, that's not all. He can't even get a pink ward. And look at, Execute's getting a little aggressive, maybe? I think this is a little overreaching. It looks like he thinks so too, and he's gonna back out of the jungle.
As of right now, it's not looking actually that good for the Irelia up top lane, getting burned quite heavily by Blaster. So we'll see
Yeah.
if Jarsa can turn this
Oh.
around soon, but he's just not able to trade all that efficiently right now. It doesn't have, any attack speed to speak of, so the true damage is not going to matter for a while.
Yeah, and what is Execute doing? He's still messing around in the jungle. Does not have red buff anymore, so this is kind of risky.
Especially when he's getting closed in on by 3 members, he could find himself on the wrong end of a Syndra very, very soon, but actually Banter backing off that, does not want a piece of the Jarvan.
Yeah. And I want to note this bot lane, the Ezreal Braum combo is kind of like, it's not the best combos with Braum, as I think Lucian probably takes the cake on that one, but it is very good, as Ezreal can proc the Braum passive from very long range with his Q. So you're going to be able to see like Braum just like hit a Q or maybe like tap someone with an auto attack, and Ezreal just able to whittle away at them as well as stun them during that whole process. So I think it's a really good laning combo. And it'll definitely help against peeling away Irelia, Riven, and Rakan.
Well, right now it's Execute Plan C just kind of baiting in the top lane, waiting to see if Jarsa sticks around engages for any length of time, because if he does, his Jarvan is just waiting to pounce on him, but not getting a chance to right now and wasting quite a bit of his time sitting in this bush.
Yeah. And Blaster is gonna get sick soon. Execute is coming up though. He gets stunned up under the tower. It looks like Blaster's just gonna walk out with a sliver of HP. And I don't know why I'm doing play-by-play, but I'm so fucking hyped. Oh, sorry.
I mean, it's fine. You know, we can switch it up a bit. I'm okay with doing the color analysis, because right there, it was actually Jarsa just getting so greedy for these minions. He wanted a piece of it, and it didn't work out for him. You know, the longer he stays
Look
at
at
low
Inspire
HP,
here.
he knows the
Uh-oh.
Rumble can, you know, gank him, and if Inspire can make this gank
Nah.
work, you know, maybe he can start turning it back. But it's already 2,000 gold in the favor of Gank Me. They could be looking very solidly on their way to the first victory. This sort of play keeps up, but keep in mind, for those of you keeping score at home, this same thing happened in the first game. They got an early game gold
Yeah.
lead, and that didn't pan out. But I actually have something to say about the Pulsefire Ezreal animations. It's really hard to tell his Q from his autos now.
I
It's
can see
extremely
that.
hard.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
like
I can
look
see
at
that.
look at his auto animation.
They're both
and because
very
he's
thin and
much
light
wider,
blue. Yeah, I agree with that.
It's so difficult to tell. So that could
yeah.
be an issue for seeing it in pro play. I don't think we will, just because the animations are so radically different. But
And
I could be wrong.
if we know anything about pro play, is that it is on the same level of Learning 5 caster show match or production show matches. Not
Absolutely.
production.
I mean,
I'm Bonobo today. Staff show matches.
well,
Because there is some production sprinkled in there, but Rumble ulti came
Blaster's technically a production and technically not, and technically he's dying. He's actually getting completely burned down. Flashes in. Jarsa takes him out. That was a production of madness. You know, he just went in way too far, found himself on the wrong end of an Irelia and her pointy sticks, and got dropped in his tracks. So any gold that he might have accrued in an advantage, it's going to get lost here in terms of experience.
Yeah, this is maybe the turnaround. I mean, this is what happened last game. Jarsa got the first kill for his team. And what happened that game? A lead that was very significant became insignificant and then was lost. So, I mean, I'm hoping that we could see, you know, a fair, even game, but with a lead, Gank Me should just be very dominant when they're all level 6. Now, Execute is still only level 5. He's been... his pathing is kind of maybe suboptimal, as he's not been clearing super... I mean, with the failed invade, like, twice, it took a long time to, you know, get that level 6. When, you know, his laners were already level 7, so it's a little... his solo laners. Of course, his bot lane was still level 5, but...
Even if his bot lane was level 5, I mean, it's just, it seems like this might be another time where Blaster Boy, you know, finds himself on the wrong side. You know, summoners.
Oh, he does not, but... oh, Execute's out of mana, though. He can't use the ulti.
And, oh, they do bring him down with the blades. That's at least one kill, maybe going to be more. Inspire trading his life to hopefully get Jarsa out. The dash should be enough to see him safely under a turret as the Cinder starts to
he's
roam
still
up.
out of
Look at this
mana.
from behind.
He's too low. He cannot go for that anymore. And, oh, the Syndra here.
Could be an engage that
Gets
they
the
want to take a
stun.
part of. Oh, flashes
Nah.
in, execute plan C, stunned up, and this should be it, unleashing
Oh, in the
power
bot
on
lane,
the
the
face. The
quickness.
balls fly left, right, and center, and they do manage to get the charm in the
Make
bot
sure you're
lane.
caught up to the live,
turning
because
it
there's
around.
some madness going on in the bot lane.
Yeah, this is just absolutely nuts. They're going forward and forward and forward, and apparently I was more than like 6 seconds behind
Yeah,
because
you
top lane
were a
almost got a
little.
kill as well. And yeah, that was a little bit chaotic to say the least.
Yeah. For anyone who's wondering why there's some confusion there with the casting and why the stream keeps on freezing, as I mentioned in the first game, there is a bug on Riot's side where it just keeps on freezing randomly, and you have to fast forward the game to catch up to live. And oh, what is going on here?
That's a kill. That's what's going on there. Directed cam didn't actually go to the kill at all, so I don't know what happened, but Jarsa died to Orianna, so thank you, Directed Camera and Riot Games. Great work there.
Yeah,
Love it.
Jif missing out on the ulti too, looking for a jump, did not hit it. So That will be kind of just a larger lead in favor of Gank Me. Yes, some kills went over, but it's still not. When you still maintain the same kill ratio, it just makes the lead a little just further away. If it's a good like, if you have a 2-to-1 ratio, and you can make it a larger number, then that's better for you generally. So they traded back what, 1 kill or 2 kills for? They traded 2 kills for 4 since the start. Where it was was it 1 to 3?
It was
so
0 to 1. It was 1 to 0, and then they just.
No. I'm saying it was 3 to 1 at one point in time, which is what I'm comparing it to. So, okay, maybe not great, but they definitely still have a gold lead. Ratios are not.
I mean, it doesn't matter what the ratios are. If you get more gold than the other team, you're doing well.
Yeah.
That's the key. But Sylph could find
Oh.
himself in the wrong side of a Riven, and he does. Jumpman takes out a mid laner. Why was it not showing us him killing Banter? I'm not sure, but he killed him before the kill came across for the Riven, and now Panda could find himself in a little bit of danger. Not too much, though. He is a Braum. He can deflect some of these projectiles, and he does stay alive for now, but very questionable camera work from the auto cam right now. I'm not sure what's exactly happening, but I do know that Jarso was going in. He doesn't get a stun, though, so he might not be able to finish off the kill.
He has a
wants
lot
to
of
go
damage,
deep under the
though.
turret. Flash for flash.
You should
He's
be up soon.
still going in on the shield, the target, and he goes down. Trades a 1-for-1, and Plan C is now rooted up as he tried to go back in. Gentlecat, no mana to
Teleport
speak of.
coming out.
Almost teleported down. Yeah, here we go. Shockwave. I don't think it's going to be in time. There's no way the Orianna can get here, but they do manage to get the stun, the double kill, and Plan C to clean it up. A clean 3-for-0 for Gank Me.
Yeah, that's really big. I mean, before that, it looked like maybe they were actually starting to lose some of their momentum. But a very, very big turnaround there. Secures their gold lead, even more so, and they might even get a tower off of it. And during that whole thing, a giant wave crashed into the top tower and did a lot of damage. So that red side top tower is super low. So when people go back up there, I think they're going to want to send Blaster up there again because the Earthquake is up. Although, they don't have to teleport, but I think they just do that anyways. Maybe, they could send Execute up there and just take that tower really quickly.
I mean,
And
hopefully,
Execute's
because right now they're
coming
getting
over here.
ganked in the mid lane.
Yeah.
And that's an unleashed power, not going to bring down the Orianna. And Banter gets traded out again, another gank. Plan C running rampant on this Jarvan, and Sylph could find himself in a spot of trouble. Jump came down just in time to secure him safe passage, and might even look to re-engage. Jarsa, the only member of his team with what resembles a gold lead, and he has to make it work. He has to make this count in a massive way for his team, or your Thick is going to be probably out of the running. I mean, it's a 3,500 gold lead at 13 minutes. It's not looking great for them.
Yeah, this matchup in the mid lane last game, the blue side was Orianna, but it was Banter who played it, and he looked fairly solid on it. Jump is making work with this Orianna, though. He is just dominating this. I mean, I don't remember what Banter had last game, but I don't think he was this far ahead, right? I might be mistaken with that comment, but I think that Jump is definitely further ahead than Banter was. Yeah, especially since Banter didn't get any real early leads. He won a lot through the team fights and skirmishes. Oh, okay.
Huh.
There is a lot of skirmishing going on in the top lane. No flashes for both top laners though. Looks like his mid turret's
I'm not
actually
really
down.
sure where my league is, or if it's caught up at all. So if you're on the playtime, you might want to talk about what's happening.
Okay, Jarvan just got a kill on Syndra, who got the tower.
Okay, I'm about
Jinx
9
ulti
seconds
whiffs.
behind.
Got
you.
I'm a little behind as well. Are you speeding up your camera?
It's fully sped up. I can't speed up anymore.
My timer's at 15, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
15, 13, 14.
Oh gosh, you're 5 seconds behind at least.
Yeah. You're play-by-play now. Congratulations.
All right.
Got an on-the-job promotion because you can actually tell them what's happening at
All
this
right.
time.
Yeah, Jarsa getting the equalizer dropped on him. Blaster getting chunked out very low. And he has the silence from his passive, which does not allow him to cast any more abilities, and Jarsa will be taking that fight. With
Yeah,
a
the
sliver
equalizer
of
just,
HP.
it wasn't enough damage. They were so close there. No flashes on either top laner to secure anything or to escape, so
There
they
was also
do
some
drop
weird
down.
placement on that as well. He placed it more into the wall than anything. He could have placed it maybe like from like the red tower towards the top left positioning and just kind of covered more of the
Yeah.
brushes, which would have probably made the difference to win that fight. So very minuscule mistakes from Blaster there, costing him his life and allowing this Irelia to get bigger, and that Irelia is what did it for them last game. Earth Dragon being started off and taken, secured this time by Execute. He's happy about that, I'm sure, as Inspire is nowhere near. At least
Yeah,
Ezreal
and
laughs at what I
Even
say.
if he was, I mean, I'm not sure if he can steal this on a Riven. Like, you
Yeah,
know,
it does not have the
he's
same execute
not only
damage
behind
as
in
Lee
levels
Sin.
by 2,
Yeah.
but it's a Riven. You know, how are you going to get in the instant you want to? You know, it's a multi-part movement combo process, and now Blaster is shoving out the top wave a bit.
Huh.
Oh,
Okay.
he went down.
Yeah. I I just was like, what? Jarsa kind of cut off though. Orianna ulti coming out, getting some targets very low, but nothing dying except for Execute. The turnaround here. Jump getting chased down by Inspire. Reese is chasing down Jarsa, but it looks like he's just trying to get away. And Jump is stuck between a rock and a hard place. As it looks like
Yeah, that
he's accepted
was
fate.
some over-aggression. Jump finally went down there, but a very big over-aggression and overstepping. And it looks like every time Gank Me get an advantage, they're just kind of over-aggressive with it. They're
Yeah.
taking, you know, too much off at once, and they get punished for it again. You know, the gold lead, it hasn't grown in the last 6 or so minutes, even though they've gotten objectives for themselves. So I'm very, very worried that if this continues, you know, we might see your Thick, you know, come back into this game exactly like they did in the first one.
Yeah, and as you say that, the gold lead has gone down from 2k plus to 1k. So it's definitely in the realm of possibility for another comeback. And while I say that, it's only 1k. Look at that gigantic minion wave in the mid lane. If we head over there, let's see here. All right, look at this giant minion wave. I mean, when Banter comes and picks this up, that gold lead is going to be even smaller, as it's gone within 1k at this point, it looks like. So yeah, there. Oh, God, I went back again. Love me some League of Legends spectating behavior.
Man, you know, you're really on point with this observer stuff, as you said last time. This is quality observing.
I don't know if you couldn't see what I did. I might have skipped back again by accident. A little too
Well,
much
don't worry, loyal
clickety-clackety.
viewers. We have our loyal watchdogs on the case, and we'll get a new observer in sometime within the next 2 centuries. You know, he'll be extremely quality. He'll be full time, and he'll work for peanuts on the dollar. It's actually going to be just Air Bud, but for observing.
Oh.
Yeah, great.
Blaster getting taken low. Use the equalizer to try to protect himself, but he's just too low with 2 members there taking him out. Execute getting really aggressive, using the ultimate. Jinx flashes out, and Jif kites away, and Jif does actually die. Now Execute is getting chased down by Inspire, burns the flash immediately. Dash is out, heal is used by Sylph, and that will be a 1 for 2 in the grand scheme of things, as they committed support and top to the top side, on the side of you're thick, but that bot lane exchange was very good, as they realized they had numbers advantage because the support was in the top lane, and they definitely pushed their advantage. Blaster TPing back to lane though means he will not be able to TP in here. There is a tower dive in the bot side, and Gentle Cat will be taken out by Sylphian.
Yeah, and that's just... This is finally, you know, Gank Me getting an advantage, taking a numerically advantaged fight in the bot lane, getting measured aggression. with Execute diving in, finishing off the AD and the support, and just, getting something good out of it finally. They're taking a turret, they're getting a gold lead slowly back up, and if they take this piece by piece, I think that they very well could build themselves a substantial gold lead before the game hits the inhibitor turrets, and if they do that, they can finally start dealing with Jarsa, because he is being a menace in the top side.
Yeah. This is much more dominant than the last game. It's still fairly close in gold. A 2k gold lead, or 2.5k at this point. But Execute Plan C, how he has put in work. I have to reorder the scoreboard again. I apologize for that, but he has been so much more, it looks like he's just better on Jarvan than his Lee Sin, which he said was his main, I think.
Maybe. I'm not exactly sure who's what mains, because
I think
I don't know what the
mentioned it
definition of a
somewhere.
main is anymore. I'm just kind of twisting League of Legends to suit my purposes.
Oh, Gentlecat going for a flank here with Jarsa. Gets the lockdown. Immediately Sylph gets taken out. They're chasing onto Panda Blubber, but he does have the redemption for the heal. Jarsa in there, and he is exhausted, but the Jinx ultimate takes out Jump, and Jarsa cleans up Panda Blubber, as it is a 1 for 3 in favor of Your Thick, and Jif is getting a tower here.
So is Blaster, though. He started to shove
Yes,
towards
but
the
there's
top side.
also
Maybe
the
he can
Earthdrake
answer
that is
it.
spawning right there. And it looks like they're going to trade a tower, but they're also getting that Drake advantage. And
Yeah,
this,
maybe Blaster can finish this sometime soon, because if he doesn't and they do start on the turret... Okay, there we go. He did finish the turret, so he's got something going for himself. And Dragon has been started up in the meantime.
Oh, Jarsa a little overextended maybe. Very low. Execute was stunned up, so maybe he can walk away. Jarsa does have the flash. He can immediately pop it if he feels like he needs to. And just walks out. Wow.
Well, that's a good start,
Alright.
Game's going more even, more back towards the side of Your Thick, but Gank Me is not done just yet, or maybe they are. The Dragon goes down. Got no way to answer it, and with that, I think we might be seeing a sort of stalled out game, at 23 minutes. The gold lead only being 2k. That's not nearly large enough to take a 5v5 convincingly.
Yeah. Oh, my chunking. Jump had a really strong early showing, and he had just a meh time after that, and it looks like he might have an even worse time now. Banter! 100-0ing Jump. What was that?
It was Syndrome. That was the 200 IQ button.
Wow. Okay. He flashed the shockwave. Jump, like, flashing out. Sorry, not Jump. He jumped away from Jump's burst, Banter, and he had his heal still, so like he was completely safe. It doesn't look like he's safe anymore though, with no flash. Equalizer coming out. There comes the Cataclysm, and Jif is getting chased down. 2 kills already going over to Execute. Inspire coming in on the backside with Jarsa. They're initiating 2v4. The Super Mega Death Rocket does not connect, and Panda Blubber picks up 1 kill. Jarsa getting really low. It looks like he will be zoned off. They know where he is. It looks like they're just going to leave him be.
2v4 engage. I'm not so sure that was the right call there, You've already lost 2 members. You're going to need to contest the Baron. Why would you engage with your jungler in a 2 versus 4 scenario? At least keep them. Cut your losses, Save it for the Baron, because it looks like they're going to go start this up, and you're going to need it in about 10 seconds.
Yeah. Now, there is no jungler here for this Baron. It is down to 3k HP. They're zoning off Jarsa, so there's no potential steal, and that will be Baron secured for Gank Me, and maybe even a kill onto Jarsa to sweeten the deal a little bit. Yeah, Jarsa
really
should have conceded that.
He's going to get burned down. With no Riven, no Smite, no Contest, it's not much that he can do, and the fact that he didn't go in to even try to steal that away and still goes down for it is a little bit disappointing. Would have loved to see an engage attempt at least, especially if you're most likely going to die on the other side of it. But as it stands, the gold lead finally has ballooned 5,000 gold in the favor of Gank Me, and they are well on their way to securing some turrets and some inhibitors, but they actually have to start the pushes and hit them at some point in the next couple minutes.
Yeah, and I'm a little worried here that Banter is going to see that giant bottom wave and want to push out for it. He could get collapsed on by Panda Blubber and Execute, and those two members alone should be enough to take him out. So, oh, if he goes out for it, he has actually shown that he's not mid lane. So that tells GM that they can shove in and get that mid turret. Although it looks like they're actually going to try to collapse on him a little too slow, a little too late. And I really like the side wave management actually from Execute here. He's been shoving out the side waves. So look at these side waves. They're gonna that bottom one actually is not sure. It's 50-50 which way it's gonna go. But the top one is definitely pushing towards the base of your thick. So good side wave management. Relying a little on RNG for the bottom wave, but he doesn't want to overstay. A minor complaint I have on that though is that Blaster really should be the one doing that since he has the teleport and he can rejoin with his team. And honestly, yeah, Blaster right now could head down towards the bot side to clear that out and then just TP back to his team for a fight. And since Jarza doesn't have teleport, you know, that's
pushing onto this turret. I mean, eventually it has to go down. They've got Baron buff, they've got, you know, the gold advantage, they've won 5v5s, 5v4s. I'm not sure how much that your thick can do to stop this push.
Yeah. And look at this giant top wave that they prepped. Oh, please go defend it. Please go defend it. Irelia is going. No. Rotate to the top lane. Look at these minions. They're going to get massacred here. If they had Baron buff, they'd be also tanky. No.
But they're just getting cleaned up by Jarsa.
Yeah, they had such good side wave management. The bot wave is also shoving out. They're managing these side waves so well, but they are not utilizing them.
And that's costing them big. I mean, look at this mid turret. I mean, it's
they're
still
getting
not
the
down.
mid turret, but it's a little risky. They could be going for the safe play of going to the top lane. They're risking this now. Look how low Panda is. They're going for an all-in. Is it gonna work out? Sylph gets taken out immediately. Execute's really low, but so are two other people. Execute maybe gonna get a double kill on the back end. Blaster is barely alive, and he will die. Or not Blaster is dying. Execute died, and there is a 4 for 4. That is not what they really want, though. They wanted to get a clean inhibitor. They had Baron. They wanted to use it. If they just rotated up to that top lane, pushed in with that giant wave,
any other side lane,
yeah, and then they could have went to the bot lane with that giant wave that's prepped up. Instead, this gold is all getting funneled into Jarza, that Irelia that is a threat for them. They have been handing him gigantic side waves of minions after minions. I mean, this is not... They're doing the right thing in their side wave management, but they're not capitalizing on their waves properly. So not rotating properly, and Drake is spawning in 6 seconds. Will be an Ocean Drake. So at this point of the game, it's not a super important Drake, as you want more like the tower taking from the Earth Drake, or you want the objective control from the Earth Drake, or you want the Infernal Drake for just a little extra damage. But that, I mean,
it's at this point, like, that failed push, you know, almost wasting the Baron buff. It seems like they're just giving them so much time to get back into this game, to build around that Irelia, as you said. And even though they're probably going to get this dragon, and it looks like they will secure it, that means that they have some issues. You know, they really need to take this and convert it, get some inhibitors, get sideways shoving, convert some kind of objective, you know, some meaningful objectives into gold. Because if they don't, you know, if they just wait it out, they don't get the fights that they need, they're gonna be funneled into chokes, and Irelia's gonna murder them all again.
Yeah. And oh, all right. They are sieging for that mid inhibitor. Now, bottom lane is slow pushing towards them. Hopefully I do not miss any action as they look at that bottom lane. Top lane is shoved out for them though, but they do not have any Baron left. So, and it would have timed out anyways. So it's not like that was like, you know, something that would have changed based off of the mid fight. I think they just rotate up to the top wave, see if they can whittle away at the turret. If, your thick doesn't rotate fast enough. If not, just rotate back to mid lane. And they need to answer that bot lane. After this, if they don't get anything, they need to play it slow. Do not force here. Baron is up in 1 minute. What you do is you just play it slow. If you can get an inhib, good. If you can't, back, send Blaster bot lane, go for Baron. And it looks like they really want to force something here. They're getting really antsy. This might be what costs them. The Rakan comes in, gets a 2-man ulti, but does not finalize anything. And actually, Inspire gets taken out. Jiff is getting really low and will get melted away by Blaster Boy. That is an mid inhibitor, 2 kills going over to Blaster. And they're going for that top inhibitor turret as well as the inhib probably.
Yeah, and that was just... It seemed like that the fight was going actually all right for your thick, but then all of a sudden you see Inspire doesn't have any support left. He gets burned down, and that's a big problem. But here we go.
Blaster getting so low, living through the Zanyas, and the scrap shield saving him. Now, they could just back here and prepare for Baron. Send Blaster bot lane. There's a giant wave. You can have Blaster split push. Everyone else group around the top side, and you do a dance around Baron with Jarsa TPing bot lane. He cannot group for Baron anymore when he's bot. And there's a pause coming out. Okay, right in the midst of that whole thing. I don't like that TP from Jarsa.
I'm not sure if it's...
There's Baron up right now. That's... I don't think that's great.
Pause?
Yeah, there's a pause.
Okay, apparently Reese is getting his food.
What? Is that actually why?
That's actually why.
Oh my god.
Well, you know what? Sometimes you win, and sometimes you lose enough that you need to get food from delivered to you, and you don't have any other time, so... Pretty
Yeah.
interesting.
Alright. I mean, we've had weirder reasons for pauses, I'm guessing. But yeah. So, with this teleport, I'm going to touch on this, okay? So, Blaster has TP. His team can group around Baron. He can stay bot lane and pressure. If people go bot to answer him, there is no way they can match the teleport. There is guaranteed number advantage at Baron, or Blaster can free push. And that basically secures that they can just play it slow and play it smart. And as long as there are not any crazy outplays or gigantic misplays, this can go so smoothly for Gank Me. I always blink on their name. I know you're thick. How could you forget thick name? But I don't know. Gank Me has the chance to really show some macro play here, and I really, really hope they can, because it would be so refreshing to see that. And I mean, it looks like they're gonna do that. They're sending Brian in the bot lane, Blaster Boy, and it looks like he's just gonna hold it for now, which is exactly what they want.
Yeah, and I guess... Are we still pausing your screen?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure, because this has been a really, really strange game. You know, we've been up and down, and the goal lead has actually never been given fully over to your thick this time. So it's not guaranteed that's going to be, a win. It's not guaranteed that's going to go the way of Gank Me, but if they can get a Baron and actually split with it, if they can, take the Jarvan or the Rumble, get someone into a side lane, get the
they don't even
turrets
need
moving.
to, though, because they have both inhibs down. They could just...
Well, I know, but the key is, if you get someone on both of those waves, right, standing in that gap with both waves getting boosted, there's no way you're dealing with super boost or Baron boosted supers in 2 waves.
Yeah, it looks like Jarsa might actually get this tower, but is he gonna... Oh, Blaster, don't you die here. If Blaster dies, that is actually huge. Oh, no.
I think he's dead.
He dies.
Yep.
This is... No, Baron is going to go over to the other team. No way. Jinx is melting this thing. It is going down so fast. They're chasing down that Aurelia. But in the same time, the Baron has just been secured in favor of your thick. No way.
I mean, there's still 2 down inhibs to contend with. As even though they have Baron, it just, in my eyes, delays what's going on currently. They can't actually realistically shove out, even though they do
Yeah,
have
but that
Baron,
stalls
even
it
though they
out
do
and
have
it
full
gives them a
numbers up.
chance. Before it was almost like a guaranteed Baron. Now it's, I mean, they traded 1-for-1 with the top laners. They got a tower and they got a Baron. This is bringing them closer to a comeback. And before it was almost like a 5% chance of them winning. That chance has gone up from 5% to at least like 20%. Like, I'm just throwing numbers out there. Like, those aren't hard numbers by any means, but like that is like so a rough like estimate of what like the chances are of this game that they win. Like, it's a very real possibility that they can actually win that. And I mean, 20%, yeah, it doesn't sound great on paper, right? But that is a massive, like, it is definitely much closer to them turning this around than before. We see Inspire coming around the back here, backing off, not wanting to take the 1v5 again. And they are grouped around this bottom turret. There is a very large minion wave in the top, as there is 2 double minions, or 2
And supers and
yeah.
everything. And I mean, there's actually not 2 supers because you have to have 3 inhibs for 2 supers.
Well, there are
but,
2 supers anyways. They were
yeah, there are 2 supers because they both stacked on each other, but one just went down, and the other one gets burned by Jarsa.
Yeah, but Jarsa's not here right now. It is a 5v4 while Jarsa is clearing that out. The next minion wave isn't quite here yet, but Jarsa isn't here yet either. The minion wave is here first. Maybe they can push for this tower. It looks like it's getting cleared out
so
pretty well.
consistently. I mean, without the magic protection from the Baron buff, the Syndra just clears. You know, the Syndra can clear indefinitely, and unless they really want to punish with a full dive or a full engage, they're gonna find themselves just throwing minions at the Syndra, hoping that eventually she doesn't clear enough. They can chip the turret over like a course of 3 minutes and maybe win this game.
Yeah, what is coming up soon though is 30 seconds for Elder Dragon. So maybe they just want to play it slow. They don't want to look for the dive. They say, look, we don't need to do this again. You just play around the objective. Objective is up in 20 seconds, and they still are stronger. The Baron is getting low on the timer. It's 3/4 completed. And they could either just dance around the Baron or just melt it down. And their team fight is so disgusting. If they catch the enemy team, you're thick in the jungle. Oh, 2-man knockup. Gentlecat CCing a lot of people. And Inspire goes in, gets Silk. And oh my gosh, Jif is getting a lot of damage down. Maybe this can be it. Gentlecat knocking up someone. And Jarsa getting the second kill thanks to the help from Jif with the Super Mega Death Rocket. Jarsa chasing down Execute. Does not get the stun, gets a slow instead on Execute. And it looks like Gentlecat might want to try to stop him, but will not make it in time.
I mean, keep in mind, the longer they do this, the base is still dying. There are super minions hitting these Nexus turrets. It's not all, you know, sunshine and roses for the side of your thick. Like, they've got to think about this. They've got to think, you know, how much have they been spending on these non-turret defenses?
Banter, okay, before this Elder Dragon becomes an issue, Banter was not picking up the super minions and throwing them in the fountain with his W to clear them. So he was taking a lot longer to clear than he needed to. And now Execute gets that GA popped. Jif needs to be really careful. He's in the pit by himself.
Oh, and it's smited away! Execute Plan C!
Oh my. What?
There's nothing to contest. There's no smite. There's no nothing.
What's your timer at?
36:30. Did I pass you again?
No, you're 5 seconds behind or so. I thought you were caught up with me, but by what you were saying, but I think I was just like
36:43 now.
I freezed, but if I speed up again, yeah, I'm ahead. I don't want to have to sync up every time. Let's just stick with what you have going on right now.
Okay, got you. Hopefully we're fine.
Yeah, this is going fine.
It keeps putting us behind though. It keeps freezing.
Yeah, I really wish Riot would fix this. It makes amateur casting, or like amateur scenes and everything, like even
so
just like
difficult.
for fun events. Yeah, it not even just difficult, but just like kind of annoying, and it makes it just reduces the quality of everyone's streams, you know. So hopefully they'll fix it. There's not much attention brought to this, so it's whatever. But well, it's not whatever. I really hope they fix it, but Elder Dragon on how many members? 2 members of Gank Me. So this game really back and forth, and now it realistically is anybody's game. The inhibitors have respawned. Yes, there are a lot less towers on the side of your thick, and there is a slight gold lead as well in favor of Gank Me. But, you know, if you can win one fight, the enemy base is gone. This is really high intensity game right now, and Baron up in 1 minute. Panda Blubber getting chunked out, going to escape with his life.
And I mean, right now it's not looking fantastic. They've, you know, stalled it out, sure, but even if they stall it out, you know, it's still 4,000 gold lead. That's getting less and less significant as time goes on. They've got a chance, but they have 1 Nexus turret left. If they ever lose a fight, if they ever even lose more members than they kill, they could find themselves at a complete lost game. And the longer this stalls out, the better it does look, but they still have absolutely no front line to speak of almost on either team. Braum finally resembling one for Gank Me, but that's about it.
Yeah. And this is, whew, this game is very, very scary. 19 seconds. Oh, maybe there's going to be something happening here with Jarsa, though. As we see, he's getting chased down. Collapsed on by 5 members. Baron is up in 9 seconds. Maybe his team just goes to it. But it doesn't look like they're going to be doing it fast enough. Jarsa does flash the wall, but taken very low. And GA will be popped. He's going to try to be stalling out, and they are going to the Baron. They're going to try to melt it before they get there. Can they do it in time, though? I don't know if they can.
Maybe. I mean,
I don't think they can.
They're going to have to be very, very quick on their timing. And
The Ezreal ulti does help with that, to be honest.
yeah,
I think they
it's
have it, actually.
damage
Unless
for
the
them.
Equalizer steals it, they have it. Now they just need to get out. And this is the scary
they've
part.
secured it. I mean, the Riven's been popped, but yeah, you can get a Riven. Can you get anything else? Maybe not.
Inspire had
I'm
flash
not
there.
so sure.
Oh wait, no, it was just coming up. Unfortunate. That's 2 kills. I don't. That might be enough.
I think it
Jarsa
is.
up in 26.
It's 40-something seconds on 2 members. We've got 20-something on
Now,
the
this is a
Irelia.
Jinx. Jinx can definitely do work, but Panda Blubber is very
against
tanky and can
that
block
many
shots.
members, I mean,
Yeah, I think just
It should
Jarsa's up
be
in
over.
10 seconds.
I think this is it.
I don't
They're
know.
not going for it.
No, I don't
They're not
know.
going for it?
Jarsa would be up in time, and they didn't have a minion wave right
They're
there
going
yet.
for second inhibitor instead.
It looks like they're gonna go for all 3 inhibs. Now, this is like kind of a death sentence in inhibitors, right? But, oh, you know what is a death sentence? When you're actually dying. As Sylph gets GA popped, Blaster Boy gets taken out. Jif is popping off. Sylph respawns from the GA. Jif gets a 2nd kill. Chasing
This could
on
be
to
it.
Jump
I mean,
and Panda. Jump having to flash the zap. General
What the
Cat
heck?
getting really low. This game is so back and forth. So much action. 32 kills to, oh my, Jarsa TP flank, what? And that's another kill going over to Jif. As Jump gets taken out, Panda is trying to run and escape with his life. But Zap coming out, not connecting, flash burn. Jarsa going in even further, connects the slow. Jif is not here though, so they need to retreat.
but they
My word.
still are going to be able to shove a wave. That's the only lane that supers are not going to be spawning in, is this bottom lane. If they can manage to shove it out, if they can have their Irelia, you know, with them still shoving in, if they can have the Syndra clear, they could still win this game right, you know, in the next couple of minutes. They don't have enough time right now, but if they get an inhibitor, you know, open it up, then it's only Nexus turrets, and you have supers in the 1 lane for an advantage for you, but they've got to be careful that they don't stay too long.
Yeah, and this might look like an overstay, although Sylph gets melted. Redemption comes out for the blue team. GA is popped from the Jarvan, and he will be taken out. And that is another kill going over. GA pop. No, that is just Rumble dead. No GA. Wait a minute. No, they can take the base. Jump is up. He does have the shockwave. This is
They've
so.
got to be very careful in this
Yeah.
take.
If Shockwave connects on 2-3 members, is that it? Jif does die, and that is an 80 carry, the tower melter, and they are all too low now. Jump is full health and can zone them off. Oh my.
Supers are still clustering in the base of your thick. This game is just not ending anytime soon.
What is going on? What is happening? This game is too close. Is your thick gonna manage to somehow bring this back, or is Gank Me gonna actually close it out? I'm not even sure at this point. There are a lot of super minions, but it looks like they're gonna be able to hold it with Syndra having the wave clear as well as having the W. She can pick up the supers and throw them in the fountain. Although it doesn't look like she really has to do that, and she'd rather just keep the gold for her team. Because when you throw the super minion into the fountain, you're basically throwing away a little bit of gold, which sometimes matters. Although it looks like she's gonna go do it anyways. Did she get it? Where is she? Yeah, I think.
I'm not
No,
sure.
she didn't. She threw it back towards her tower. Okay. Well, this game has blown up completely. There will be a Baron in a few minutes, but right now there's just gonna kind of be a silent before some kind of siege happens. Maybe they're gonna go for this bottom inhibitor, as it is the last one up, and if they get this, that will be double supers in every wave, and that will be so much for your thick to handle. Banter a little bit out of position, does not get the kill on Silthrian. The Cataclysm and the Equalizer coming out, and that will be 1 kill. 2 kills going over in favor of Gank Me. But the Super Mega Death Rocket will get Jiff a kill. He gets to get excited, has to kite away Execute Plan C now. He's doing so really well. Gets the kill, gets excited again. Does not get the kill on Blaster Boy, sadly, but is looking like he's going to get Panda Blubber, and that will be a 2 for 3 in favor of your thick. Oh god.
And they just, as soon as that fight kicked off, you saw the Wombo combo. We talked about the damage that's possible to come out of Blaster Boy and to come out of Silk, but then they get melted. They get turned and burned, and this goes entirely the way of your thick. We saw them burn down multiple members, and the Jinx sustain damage is carrying them through these later fights. Jump nowhere to be seen in that entire engagement, so almost a 4 versus 5 when you consider it from the side of Gank Me. And if that's the case, if they keep taking these 4 versus 5s, I'm not sure how they're gonna win, except by maybe these supers that could be clustering towards their base.
Oh, and yeah, that is 2 super minions. That tower is gonna get very low. They do have Syndra here. I think she should have thrown one of those supers in the fountain. That tower is gonna take a lot of unnecessary damage. A little more than needed to. It wouldn't have made that much of a difference. It'll regen up slowly, as that regen is fairly slow. It's about 3.5 per second, so I mean, I don't think it's gonna get back to full this game, but it might be a little more than 50% when it's getting taken down, if it gets taken down, as it has not seen the light of enemy champions in quite a while.
Right now, though, it's just, the longer this game goes, the more confusing these fights get. I mean, it's, you know, one time we see like a great wombo and then it simply gets turned on, and the other time people just get picked in random places, and at this point, I mean, I'm not really
Okay, now hold
sure.
on. Dragon in 13 seconds, Baron in 30. This is probably what we're gonna look for. Like,
It is Elder. Keep in mind, this is an Elder Drake.
What happens here might decide the game. Like, the Baron or Dragon fights, or whoever secures them, might be enough to win one team the game, as the gold lead has gone down to 1k, just a minuscule amount.
But just look
A few
at this
percentage.
Irelia. She's still bot lane.
And she does
She
have
has
teleport
TP,
though.
but
yeah.
she's still bot lane. She's
But
forcing someone to come back for her.
Yeah, and this is really good for them, as the top lane is also shoving out, so they don't really have to worry about that. Blaster has backed, and he does have teleport as well, but if they send one more person back, this is a number advantage. Jarsa is so strong, and it looks like he's 1v1ing Blaster. The recalls were cancelled, and Blaster is getting very low. The Zhonya's is popped. Jarsa does have Guardian Angel, but he is also taken to a very low percentage of HP. Does not look like he's going to
Him
commit
has
to it.
respawned, so he does not have the advantage of super minions on his side to take this down. I'm not
Yeah.
sure it's going to be necessary though, as it looks like
look at this
Blaster.
Baron though. This is some. Oh my.
Baron is secured on the side of your thick. Execute Plan C goes in. Jiff getting very low, but getting peeled away, and that will be Execute falling. Blaster Boy TPing it to the backside. Uses the equalizer on Jiff, gets him very low, and melts Jiff. He will be taken out in response though, and this fight has just gone chaotic. Silth is taken out. Oh god, what is going on
This is
here?
just absolutely
Oh my god, that's
crazy.
game! That's game! It's an ace! They got it! Hand of Blubber will die, and that's an ace! This is game, that's it! The
If
comeback!
that is it, it could be. Look at the timers, 36 seconds, the first member up, but there are supers collecting in the bot side. There's only 2 Nexus turrets standing between them and complete 2-0 victory. You know, we didn't think this was possible, but 48 minutes in, it looks like they have stalled it out long enough. They have finally cracked the code, and they're just going to start charging towards the base. I mean, I don't know, if 14 seconds from now, maybe they can still
That's
have one
only
turret
one
left.
person though, yeah. I think this is enough. They have 4 people here against 1 Jarvan. This is game. They've turned it around, managed to 2-0. You're thick. Turning out to be the Showmatch champions. Lose early, win late game is their fucking playstyle. Sorry, I cussed again. I'm dead inside, but I am so hyped for this. How? 2 games.
It doesn't matter how. The question is not how, but why not, apparently, as this is going to be the game 2-0. That was... I have no other words to say, but classic Clown Fiesta. A sight to behold, to say the least, and a fantastic piece of work by our friends over at You're Thick. I mean, they are just they made it happen. Whether or not they deserve to win the match, you can debate later. But what we can't debate is that they have closed it out.
Yeah. That will be a 2-0 for Your Thick. And they are your staff Showmatch champions. And that, wow, that was just some insane League of Legends. And with that, that will be it for tonight, as it was a best of 3, but the not clean 2-0 coming out. And yeah. So congratulations to I'm completely dead inside. Congratulations to Your Thick.
I think that will do it for us for tonight. Thank you very much for joining us for another special Learning Fives production. If you're interested in what we do, hit that follow button or follow us on Twitter at Learning Fives. And again, thank you very much for watching.